Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Christopher Garza Real Estate News, where there's going to be no selling involved. It's just going to be great information just for you, if you're living in the Seattle area, that is. And today we're going to be talking about not only the market update and what's going on in the market, but also average sales price and why that's such a tricky metric, and it's kind of being used as almost bait to lure your eyeballs in a little bit. So average sales price, median sales price, difference obviously, and not so obvious if you didn't, really like math all that much, but average, the total of all of them equaled out to an average of them. And then you have the median, which is the exact middle of it. So you would have a high, a low, and then a median of the sales price. So a lot of these times you'll see in articles that they'll really just try and capture you in by saying sales price high, sales price down, this is up, this is down, median sales price. And not every time. They're not trying to fool you every single time or use the metric wrong every single time. But it should just be understood what this metric really is and why it is kind of a tricky metric to not only talk about but really report on. Now, I'm not saying that it is a ridiculous and dumb metric. It does have its benefits. Uh, Most metrics will have their benefits for the most part. But before we get into that, if you wouldn't mind, like, subscribe, and share with anybody that is either in the areas that I'm talking about or really just kind of might need this information. It really does help the algorithm. So if you wouldn't mind, just throw that out there for me. And the areas that I will be focusing on in these actual statistics that I'll be showing are going to be Tukwila, South Seattle, West Seattle. I'm also going to be talking about SeaTac and Des Moines, which are going to be highlighted in the yellow over there. So let's get to today's 7-day running numbers. So I have sounds like I got a street cleaner outside or something. I'm gonna have to pause this real quick. Alrighty, streets are nice and clean. What a cool job. Anyway, so with the new listings and listings pending here, we have still going along with that trend of either for every home that's going on market, having around 2 homes coming off the market. If you look at the back on market and the new listing there and compare that to the sold and pending, you'll get a little over 2 times the homes coming off market that are actually being put on the market. But the one major metric that sticks out here is actually the 44 homes that have been reduced in price. That's almost double the amount of new listings that have come on the market. And that a lot of the times has to do with homes just being a little bit overpriced, especially for the higher priced mortgage rates that are going on right now. Not a lot of people are able to venture out into those kind of higher price points that they were able to whenever the mortgage rates were a lot lower in the 2, 3s, and 4s. And speaking of mortgage rates, the rates today have actually, in this past week, have been kind of going up and down a little bit. These reported ones have actually gone up about, from my last video, zero point 0.8, almost a full point, but about 0.8 points from my last video. And then I checked yesterday, and it was, I believe, at 6.98. So it did go up quite a bit as well. So, and then these are going to be rates that are going to be from Mortgage Daily News. So they're going to differ a little bit from the Freddie Mac that you see out there or other posted rates, because what they take is a base mortgage kind of 750 credit score, or I'm sorry, 75% loan to value with a 650 credit score. They take certain metrics and then they base it off of that and what they could get loans off of that for, and then they post that on there. So it's kind of a little bit more. It's a little more accurate as far as the daily rates, instead of the kind of weekly rates or whatever they would post it on other places. So that's what the Mortgage News Daily posted rates, that's what those are going to be from. if you ever wanted to check those out. This is one good article that was the monthly indicator from July. They do talk a little bit in here, right in the middle, about the median sales price. Again, don't let that kind of throw you off and think that, oh, my home is 0.5% more valuable than it was a month ago. That's not really what that means. And it went down a little bit too much. And it really does talk about that at the top here. With affordability constraints have continued to limit home buying activity this summer. So not only affordability constraints, but also in the middle here, you'll also see on the higher rates have also kept many existing homeowners from listing their homes for fear of giving up lower mortgage rates. So what all this means and why this has to do with the median or average sales price is, if homes that are on the market are a lot lower, the ones that are available, you can't have a higher sales price average or median if for that factor. You might be able to have a higher median if they're all on the same price, but won't get too far into that. That being, with lower mortgage rates, people were able to sell their home and then get into another home, whereas now people are holding on to those lower mortgage rates, and people that are getting into the homes that are available, they might not be going at such a high price point just because of that mortgage rates. So that would be affecting the median or average sales price whenever you do look at those stats. So I keep clicking the wrong button here. Now it says on the bottom here again, despite a drop in existing home sales, home prices have remained near record highs, with national median sales price of $410. So again, average, median, record highs. You're with real estate, for the most part, it's always just going to keep going up, because you're never going to, as a homeowner, unless you're, distressed, which there are certain situations that do happen, you're never going to accept a lower price than, let's just say, your identical neighbor's house that was up the road. You're not going to accept $100,000 less than he got because any other factors, maybe if he had a awesome view and some other factors that might involve, that's different. But if it was the exact same house, exact same layout, that's the new price of your home, and that's what it's going to be. And then certain things will affect that, competition, how many buyers want. There's lots of different factors to actually add into that, and what your home value would be at that moment. And it's not so much just based off of a percentage or an average or median that number would be thrown out there. For instance, oh, it's 2% higher. Oh, cool, my home is 2% higher. That's not what that means, sadly. A lot more factors go into that than just a number being thrown out there. So this is a metric that doesn't matter, in my opinion, right now, as far as what we're talking about, and real estate in itself, and just kind of getting in the broad spectrum. It really doesn't matter all that much. Now, when you're trying to figure out in certain areas what is selling at what price point, more so on that market, that might be where this metric might be a little bit more usable, and that's just one instance where this could be more usable. So again, here you can really see, and this is why I brought it up, how much interest rates really do affect that average and median sales price, with it not being anywhere else on this map. But what happened, and most people know what happened in March of last year, with interest rates shooting up over 2-3 month periods, so high. And right here you see sales price, average sales price, people trying to lock in those low interest rates and buying those either higher, or maybe a home that they might not have wanted to buy, just to get in those lower interest rates. And then again, after that happened, you see such a just going straight down there. And then we are where we are right now, which it kind of did its thing. Not too many homes, but with such low supply, that's not going to, interest rates aren't going to stop people from going out on the market. There's still such a pent up buyer demand right now that that's not going to be something that completely just stops the market all in itself. It does have a huge factor on it, though. Excuse me. Now, this is another kind of interesting metric that would go along with and also show you a little bit of what a balanced market should be. So you have here days on market in the orange, and then homes for sale. With too many homes for sale, days on market is way up there. Then you have a kind of median right here between the the 800 and 1,000 homes here, with your days on market being somewhere between 30 and 45, and homes for sale kind of matching around there. So that's kind of a balanced market. And what we're seeing over here, and with the interest rates shooting way up, your average days on market were affected so much by those interest rates, that as well as the actual home price that you're getting out of that is gonna lower a little bit too, because you might have been a little bit higher priced due to that price that your neighbor got with the low interest rate. That, again, that doesn't mean your home has lowered in value. It just means purchasing power has changed, and certain things have happened. So another interesting metric to kind of go along with how mortgage rates have affected so much just this last year of purchasing power and all this other stuff, and how certain misinformation could kind of fool you about that. Now, again, these are all residential stats that you're getting here, and just in that marketplace that I'm talking about. These aren't going to be condominiums, and it's just going to be those residential homes that I'm talking about. So if you wouldn't mind smashing that subscribe button, it would really help out, and I will see you next week. Have a good one. Boom.